Well. Happy, what is today? Thursday?
Thursday.
Can't even keep track anymore.
Get ready for the weekend, man.
There is no weekend, dude.
Bro, how the weekends when you're an entrepreneur, bro? Impossible. There's no such thing. Don't exist, bro.
You get like a sliver of Saturday usually. It's like it. And then you start back up on Sunday. Well, I guess in crypto, it's really kind of like Friday afternoon Pacific time because that's when Asia is out and about for the weekend. So everything really dies off by like the afternoon PST and then picks back up like around Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
Somebody's always
doing I know it's Sunday is football, man. That's it, right, Chris?
Yeah, Sunday's a little football. Someone's always doing something on the timeline. Maybe not lately, actually. Maybe not lately. But, usually there's some nonsense going on around.
Yeah, it feels like everyone has got wiped out. Teams are getting acquired because they're broke. From what I'm seeing, there was a post yesterday about I think it was like Hasib was getting in an argument with what's the guy who created the block, Mike Dudas,
yep,
about the Circle acquisition of Axelar.
Yep.
And Mike Dudas is, and this is like a important conversation. Anytime these companies are acquired, it seems like the token holders are getting left in the dust, like for nothing. And so then Dudas is basically saying that, you know, the token holders need to be protected, and there's a handful of teams trying to do this. And then Hasib came in and basically said, yeah, you know, I was a shareholder in this company, Axelar, and we got pennies on the dollar on the acquisition. So he's like, we didn't win anyways. Yep. And that's why the token holders were kind of left down the dust. I may have left some details, but that's like the summary of it.
Yeah, that's roughly what I understand as well. And I mean, I know a couple of other personally know people who had I won't name the companies, but basically had this acqui-hire type of thing. In some of them, the investors, like I know people who invested, 100K or something into these teams, and they did just a check showed up in their bank account, right? And so they were made whole, but they didn't. There was no like big payday or anything like that. I don't know if this seems like it was even like this company was out of business, and so maybe you got a check, but it was 100th or some like as Asim said, pennies on the dollar for your investment. But this was not the type of thing where this was like a payday, a windfall. And I think most of these acqui-hires seem to be this kind of basically these teams are out of money, and this is the way they move on. I don't know. Do you have a different opinion, Chris?
Not necessarily a different opinion. I think that it's just kind of the state of the market. It's sad to see because they're right there. That guy that's mining the diamonds, they're literally right in front of the diamonds, and they just couldn't make it the last, mile leg of the race. But institutions are going to come up. They're going to scoop up all the valuable infrastructure. So they don't know how to build most of this stuff. It's easier to buy it. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to let them buy it for pennies on the dollar. But there's companies like maybe something like Emblem Vault, I've heard is pretty good, that is actually building some real value and actually has some runway that can survive the storm. So that's a good thing to see. It's a good place. It's a good position to be Emblem Vault in this scenario.
Yeah, we're continuing to grind. Interoperability is continuing to become even more premier day by day, right? Circle's acquiring a company because of its interoperability. There's only a handful of protocols that are there. I think it is obvious that interoperability is going to be the next major thing. I think Vitalik had posted a blog I don't even know, it was like last few weeks or a few months, and it was specifically about this new EIP that's supposed to like make ETH mainnet and L2s more interoperable in like a seamless way. Right. I mean, that's the goal.
They're going to take a decade, right? How long is it going to take, right? I mean, yeah, great. Why aren't they now, right? I mean, it's like, why is this not happen now? Because it's fucking hard. I mean, you just think about it. It's like all this Wall Street stuff that's happening. How's this shit going to work together, bro? It's interoperability has to happen. How's it going to happen, right? Is everything going to live on Fed chain? Or, I mean, it's just how it's going to work together. There are only a few companies on earth that actually make these things work together, man. And we're here, bro. Can we hold on long enough, bro? Got to keep grinding, bro. Got to keep grinding.
Yeah, that's always the biggest question. This is the first hustle show we've done in, it feels like a century.
Months and months.
We got to.
I've never seen the timeline in such shambles. It is like end of fucking crypto. Like people have just stopped believing crypto was even like L1s are stupid. This is all dumb. Like it's that level of there's just nobody here, man. It's over.
Yeah. So it's good for us, right? Because we're finding business. It's kind of funny as we migrate, the LPs get smaller and smaller and smaller every time. Every time I check, because the market just keeps going down. But if anything is for certain, it's that the interest in migrations are continuing to grow. And so we could probably spend this entire episode on just updating the ecosystem, because next week we only have Tuesday because Christmas is on Thursday. And then the following week, it's cool, we'll be able to do our New Year's Eve, our routine New Year's Eve guest show or expectations on New Year's Eve. So that'll be fun.
So I got to get my predictions out.
I started
last year's predictions and oh man, you already started, Chris. Did you already start too? Shit,
I did a couple. It sounds like Jake is way ahead. So
wow, we better get to Jake came with like a giant list
last time. I did 25 for 25, so I'm gonna try to do 26 for 26.
Go, bro.
It's a lot, dude. Once you like sit there for a few hours and start thinking of like, okay, these are all the industries, these are all the markets, and you don't want to be boring, right? You don't want to be like Bitcoin to 150K. It's like no shit, right?
Right.
So you try to do something that's like more fun. And I was looking through my last one, so I was actually right on like half of them. So pretty good. There's a few that I was like complete opposite direction, but you got to take some big misses. So I'll be excited to share those.
Awesome.
Should we start with migrations, hustle, or emblem? I don't even know where to start at this point.
Migrations is where it's at, man.
Yeah, let's go top of mind with migrations.
Yeah. So I'll pull up on live screen. It took over a month for this Pump Fun build. And I have to say props to the engineering team. Pretty much flawless the entire way through. Definitely from a back end perspective, I think we only ran into one small quoting issue of all of the migrations. But the biggest thing is that when you're deploying on these on the Pump Fun bonding curve, ensuring that snipers are not coming to take your money. And that was executed flawlessly, because how many teams have we seen try to do that and just failed horrifically? I'm not going to point the names, but there's a lot of them.
Dozens, bro, if not hundreds. Yeah.
Shows you that the stuff is really difficult. So we finished 6 migrations, I believe, so far. Yeah, so DCA just ended 88%. That's the second all time. So congrats to them.
That community is funny. They do some funny stuff. That's a funny community.
Yeah. The pump communities like turned out pretty well. Like of the ones that ended so far, you have 84%, 61%, 81%, 52%, 33%, 62%. You know, a lot of them are sub 1 million market cap, but a lot of times that's even harder to get people to show up because everyone's kind of like lost faith in the project. Even saw some posts about migration saving the Pump Fun trenches because it's injecting liquidity back into the pump swap ecosystem. Maybe we could talk about that for even a second, or, really just kind of, I guess, just being close to the pump ecosystem, right? The last 2 months we spent really clear, maybe in the past 3 months, we spent a really close relationship with the Radium team and the Bonk Fund team and kind of like how their ecosystem works. And then making the transition to engaging with, Alon and Rain and Anche Maxi. I think there's a handful of them from the pump team directly, as well as just the community that exists, as well as the interest in people migrating to pump. So Chris, I'll ask you first what do you think is the biggest observation so far from, the differences between, the Radium Bonk ecosystem and the pump swap ecosystem? Or you could even just say, from the teams who want to migrate to pump swap, like what's the first thing that you notice in terms of their tendencies and expectations?
First thing that I would say is that they're very similar. It just depends on what the market's doing around them. How hype is Bonk? Then a lot of teams will want to move to Bonk. How hype is Pump? A lot of teams want to move to Pump. But we'll see who wins in the end. I just think that it's great that we're able to stay neutral and offer pathways to all these different protocols and launchpads. But everywhere that we migrate people to, they're excited to go to their new environment. So we're happy to play the neutral party in the transaction. And a lot of these teams, whether they were on Believe or maybe some of these other platforms, they kind of just like were stuck and they needed a lifeline. And so crypto's not. It started out as like a very fulfilling industry. It was very meaningful and idealistic. Kind of lost its way, but helping teams, get to a safe environment where they can actually grow and thrive again. That's kind of a pretty fulfilling task. So stoked that we and proud of what we built, actually.
It is very fulfilling. It does feel like we're starting to kind of move back towards that. Obviously, people love making money, but between the NFT era and the meme coin era, the like culture and socialization of crypto and pop culture really kind of transcended the actual utility of it. And it seems like we're going to start moving that, or even the previous eras of like DeFi and ICOs and altcoins are now merging. Privacy. Yeah. And privacy are now merging with the kind of cultural proliferation of the last few years between NFTs and social tokens. And I think Pump is trying to do that, honestly, like Pump and Bonk as well, right? The ICM kind of era. It's really just utility coins rebranded, right? But with the kind of Solana twist on it. Obviously, the youth, right? Gen Z is the dominant generation on Solana. So you're basically taking the youth and trying to infuse all of these past principles of the last 15 years of crypto into Pump. And I see Adam laughing, but what do you see so far?
I just see that, like, and we know a bunch of these guys who are, 19, 20 years old, and they have no idea what's gone on, no idea of the history that's taken place, right? And so there's no context for them about like things that have been tried multiple times, didn't work, and here's another opportunity to try it, and maybe it's going to work this time. But there's none of that kind of shared like history or brain space. So it's but again, it's I do like the that people are trying these things again. I think there's definitely a better opportunity now than before. Obviously, tech has caught up a lot, and for pump and stuff, it's been interesting just from our perspective, trying to like maintain this independent third party as people want you to like commit to things or whatever, and it's like we're just trying to be this platform that can take you where you need to go. And navigating that has been a challenge, but all these challenges are we're just digging a deeper and deeper moat, and we just recognize how incredibly difficult what we've built is. Like it is from a dev standpoint, very difficult, and incredible props to our dev team for building it out. And then from a social standpoint, like managing all these teams and stuff. I tweeted the other day, I was like, I can't wait for the AI apocalypse to take away from, make me not have to do, customer service. Right. But this is what it is. And I realize at the same time, I'm happy to do the customer service because it is this giant moat we're building. And yeah, it's exciting. And I think for Pump, it was nice to get a little bit of a shout out yesterday about how this is, an exciting thing for Pump. And we'll see how the rest of these ones go over the next, week or two. But we've crossed the first major hurdles where the real nervousness was. Now I'm just excited for them to finalize.
Yeah, and for the AI again to finally set us free. Honestly, probably just building to when Migrate Fund can be public.
Totally.
Where I don't have to organize these groups, because that takes up like 16 hours a day every day, right? Obviously, the groups will probably still be popular, but like if you just say you could go do it on your own if you want to, that'll probably take away 25 to 50% of the time spent.
Totally. I'm just wondering. I mean, there's so many little nuances that we'd have to like. Maybe we do both, and we've talked about this, as well. Where it's like, here's the public one, go do it, right? And make it as dumbed down ABC, one button easy as possible. And then there's the more complex stuff. Like if you have an exchange, well, you can't do this. You have to, do the handheld one. And maybe we end somewhere in there. But yeah, certainly excited to get it out there and let people, I don't know, let the CTOs go at it. It'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, Bunzi, our front end dev, has been trying to make this stuff as simple and digestible as possible. But on the back end, it is like millions of different colored wires. So he added the details page. Looks incredible. It's an easy thing to screen capture and then post and share in the groups or on Twitter, which is generally what you want. It's kind of easy to understand. It's, friendly. There's a lot of other things that we're building. But one aspect outside of, migrating to different areas is the ability to launch migrations on your own. So we do have an SDK we've built for other platforms if they want to build on top of Migrate Fund, but we want to have the team tab. So like all the migrations that are set up, there's a completely different website that all these teams use to set up their migration. We want to make that on the Migrate Fund site, and so that any team can come in and set up. And that has been incredibly difficult because the thing changes like every few days. There's some new request, right? Some new crazy kind of situation that presents itself, and it's only going to continue. Although it does feel like the exchanges are starting to kind of slowly get on board. You know what it is? It's like every migration, we have a contact with all these exchanges, and they kind of listen to us. They kind of don't. It's not until one of the teams or a larger platform comes in and basically tells the platforms or the exchanges to help, right? Like, because today I woke up and it was Pump Fund had set up like a few chats with some of the exchanges, and it's like, oh, now you guys listen because Alon's in the chat, right? like thank God.
We're paying attention now, man.
Right? So we're the little guy, which is fine. But the biggest takeaway from this is if you wanna get people's attention or protocol's attention, it's not asking for social support. It's not getting in their Discord. asked, like trying to open up a support ticket. It's building a product and honestly causing chaos. If you build something to where they have to interact with you because it affects the platform's users, then they're forced to engage with you, which means they then have to learn what you're building, right? I'm not saying chaos in like a nefarious way, but we go out, like for example, to these exchanges and we say, hey, these are the migrations. This chart is going to essentially get fucked on this date, so we recommend pausing deposits and withdrawals and doing this, and they kind of blow it off, and then it happens, and then they're like, oh crap, why didn't you tell us? And we're like, here's the post, we told you, right? And so then after that, then they start learning how to do it. And it's not just exchanges, right? It's protocols. There's things on our side as well that we have to communicate better, and just building towards a great standard for this platform, which will make it frictionless, and then be able to expand. So one other thing with Migrate Fund, yesterday we announced another migration group. So January 6th, these are teams that are migrating to 4 different ecosystems, to Pump Fund, to Bonk Fund as a USD1 pool. Those have increased in interest a lot. There's been a lot of interest in migrating to Radium CPMMs. And then also there's been interest in, we're adding for the first time Meteora DAMMV2 to migrate there. And so, with that, essentially we have all of the major launch pads and the 2 top LPs. I think the last one we'd have to maybe add is Orca, which I know has a lot of liquidity. I think I was looking through it the other day. It's like mostly stablecoin pairs and stuff like that. But, we've got all the top players now for people to be interoperable within Solana, make that public, and then, maybe expand to some other chains here in the near future and really cause some chaos. If you go, once you start migrating across blockchains, that's like a slap to, or that's like a punch to all the exchanges, right? Because a lot of these exchanges have blockchains themselves, right? And if they realize that they can start competing for top projects across blockchains, that's going to be a holy shit moment for them. And so whichever exchange, really figures that out and wants to work with us, I think to the other ones are going to be like, oh crap, what is going on here? Like, we are way behind. And at that point, talking to all these exchanges, there's no way any exchange is ever going to build this. No way possible.
Zero. It's a zero, bro. Zero.
Zero.
I mean, the cross chain thing is obviously like maybe the end state of Migrate Fund is cross chains. And it could just get really exciting, right? I mean, this is where we start dreaming about stuff, but you realize that it's not a dream. We can build these cross chain migrations. And, would Alon want to take some, memes off of BNB or BNB and CZ take some memes off of Alon? Like,
Base, and
it can get crazy, and Base jumps in, all this sort of stuff is going to be possible. And it's just a matter of us building it, and we know we can build it. So yeah, it's pretty exciting times. It's sick.
Yeah. I think the hard part was just kind of getting all this stuff built while we were gathering all the migration groups and building it at the same time, and just like getting.
I mean, this literally the plane is falling off the cliff, and we are building it in real time.
The plane has its gear down, all right, and it's not built yet.
It really has. More than anything, I think, Jake, anything we've built, this has been the one where it's like, this is wild,
crazy, man. Craziest one by far.
And just to build it all in tandem with the migration groups, and just manage social support, manage everything across the line. And then now finally everything's pretty much almost done being built, and so you can really just focus on only being social, getting the platform open, and then seeing what's next. I think that there's going to be some pretty sick stuff that comes up this year in terms of migrations.
Yeah, I think so as well, man. Been a fun time, truly incredible migrations. I'd be interested to see if there are any competitor even attempts to try, as the last few who attempted to ended their business. So
that's what we do here, bro. We put people out of business, bro.
Oh man, good times.
Awesome.
The next thing is actually the Agent Hustle update V4. I put together the press release for when we release that by the end of the year. Truly insane, honestly. It is like going to be truly, it feels like a product that is like going to be the front entry point to crypto, right? Like you look at Coinbase, they built Coinbase and they've spent probably tens or hundreds of billions of dollars on it. And then they have Base, which is the on-chain ecosystem. And their whole thing is like, we want Coinbase Exchange to be the medium to the on-chain world. Binance has done the same thing, right? That's why all of these exchanges have built L2s, is because they know that everything is moving on chain. And for the first time, I had this thought kind of earlier, maybe we'll tweet it, but for a long time in crypto, what happened off chain dictated what happened on chain. Migrate Fund is kind of the opposite, where what happens on chain is dictating what happens off chain, right? And I think I haven't looked at the chart recently, but it was like 40% of trading volume was on chain. So I think, we're probably some point next year, maybe that's a prediction, finally surpass the off chain volumes. And that's why all these exchanges are building L2s, because they know that's where it's all headed pretty soon. But with Agent Hustle, you have that kind of centralized exchange, right? It's the AI and the platform is somewhat off chain, right? Because you sign in and stuff, but like all the interactions are on chain, and it's kind of all packaged into one single platform and easy to use. And you're doing it with 9 people. And what I've kind of come to realize is that there's a handful of exchanges, L2s, AMMs and stuff that are trying to build these super apps, and everyone's kind of coming at it different angles. And we're coming at it as like the new entry point to the super app. But realistically, we've been building towards it for 10 years, right? Because Emblem was founded in 2016. And we know nobody else has Emblem Vault technology. And there's a few other AI companies that are trying to do that, right? Like Wayfinder and Banker. I'm not sure about Hanon anymore. It sounds like they're building prediction markets now or something. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight in 2026. And that's why I think interoperability is so key, because you don't have a super app without interoperability. That just simply does not exist.
Yep. Yeah, you think about the centralized exchanges, and I still try to kind of wrap my head around what it means, where if you don't have the interoperability, you can't trade all the stuff everywhere, right? There has to be an interoperability layer, and that's why, like you said, the exchanges, right? The smart guy, these guys are smart. They're not stupid. They know exactly what's happening. And so, yeah, there's going to be this like interaction, but the stuff has to be on chain, because you're just not going to be able to get this interoperability between the stuff, between the assets. So yeah, it is, it's wild how bullish it is just talking about this stuff. I was on a big Hedera space earlier today, getting all fired up because there was just some incredible stuff happening on Hedera. By the way, one of them is this idea. This guy basically built out a faucet system. I DM'd him and we'll chat more. But so anybody who bridges an asset or basically opens the account gets a little bit of an H bar immediately. So there's no friction between the gas. Oh shoot, do I have gas? I just bridged over my USDC. I forgot my gas, right? Which literally I did. Actually, this was just on Hustle. And how amazing Hustle is now. I bridged over some USDC to do Polymarket or whatever. And Hustle was like, "Do you need some gas over there?" And I was like, "I think I do." And he was like, "Okay, how about your, and like walked me through it." I was like, "Holy fuck, bro. Holy fuck." I mean, to an outsider, somebody who's not in crypto, that means nothing. But if you're in crypto, that's fucking something, dude.
Dude, there's so many times I've tried to bridge something, I forgot gas, and I just gave up on it.
No, he fucking reminded me, "You're going to need a little bit of gas. Do you want to bridge over some for gas as well?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Okay, how $2 sound or whatever." Bro, fucking incredible. And that's not even at the base where we're just starting. But that's fucking incredible, dude. That's incredible.
I mean, the new Hustle update's pretty insane. Just like the magic tool selector is crazy. Every time I use it, it's just like, I don't know, I overuse 1,000x, but it's like 1,000,000x better user experience. It's faster. The information is much more relevant. It's much more accurate. It's repeatable. So many of the kinks that we've been working towards are finally like really getting worked out, and the competition just continues to stray away. And so it's like, they're really going to let us build this thing, because you can't really backward integrate an AI into your applications. It has to go from the AI up. It's the only natural way that it would clearly function. And so just the first principles way of building it, I'm pretty sure that we're pretty on point. And so this next year, with all the progress we make internally and all the progress that the outside LLMs make externally, like ChatGPT 5.2 just dropped. They were in a lull. 5.2 is like insane. Grok 5 or 4.2. I don't know if 4.2 is out or if it's 5 coming up next, but it's coming up before the end of the year. These things are going to get much quicker, much more efficient, and just much stronger all around. So crazy time to be building in AI.
Yeah, and much cheaper too, right? One of the pain points for Hustle and all the other apps, AI terminals as well, is just the inference costs are expensive, right? So it's mostly just power users who can afford spending 10 cents a prompt, 20 cents a prompt to blow a few $100s on just kind of toying around with it. For the majority of the world, that is not the case, right? So as AI scale and the costs come down, and the subscription costs come down to use it, or even just eliminate it, right? Like if anyone could just do 20 or 30 free prompts per day and you didn't have to do a subscription, these things would probably blow up like crazy. But all the companies know that if you don't have that on, your literal AI cost bill is going to be like $10,000.
You're just literally lighting money on fire, bro. It literally is.
So smart teams is you got to just build it and wait, right? Allow the power users. Sometimes it's really hard just putting a subscription cost so high because you're like, man, I'm just going to totally cut off a lot of these people. But you just have to stay confident to know this is the right direction, and eventually that's going to come down. And I think it was like every 18 months, the inference costs decrease by 50% or something like that. I was watching.
Yeah, it'll probably accelerate too. And that's like what Steve Jobs did with the Macintosh, right? He knew that, GPUs would come down in size and compute would increase in size and power. And so he knew that it was like basically a waiting game. He knew what he wanted to build, but the technology wasn't completely there for what he wanted to build yet. So he just had to survive. And it's kind of the exact same moment once again.
Yeah, absolutely. So with some of the updates, we added, cross-chain swaps. So at first we added a handful of chains. So we added Polygon, BNB. So we have Solana, ETH mainnet, and I think there's one other one. What's the other one? Hedera. Yeah, so Solana, Hedera, Ethereum, BSC, and Polygon. Cool part is we added an on-off ramp with USD. So I think that's like a big, huge. Like it's huge. Being able, if you want to make Hustle normie friendly, sign in with email, we added. And then if you could just deposit straight from your bank account or Apple Pay or Coinbase account, I think is really good. Like, remember we had this conversation with Hedera and why we added Hedera first. The whole thing was the majority of Hedera or HBAR sits on Coinbase and never leaves. Now we've basically built a portal where you could take your Hedera from Coinbase and deposit it straight into Hustle, into the on-chain Hedera ecosystem, literally in 2 clicks.
Yep.
Right? Like that's what you need for normie friendly. But also think of that. We add support for Dogecoin and XRP, and you get people just depositing straight from Coinbase their XRP or their ADA or their Doge, right? All the kind of normie coins to then experience the on-chain kind of ecosystem. So truly exciting times. The cross-chain swaps, so between any of the 5 or 6 chains, between Solana, HBAR, ETH, Binance, and Polygon, you'll be able to swap their native tokens, USDC, or any of the ERC20 SPLs there, right? So you'll be able to swap like Bonk for Pepe, I guess, right inside of it. Huge upgrade there. We added conditional trading to every chain, so you could do limit orders, DCA, take profit, stop loss, stuff like that through the terminal for each one. LPs on all of the major ones, and then Polymarket. Polymarket's like the craziest one. Like that it feels very futuristic of just being able to sit there and ask about predictions while on it. Like it's super cool.
I got wrecked on my first Polymarket. I traded I bought the what was it? Oh, the Chiefs to make the playoffs. That was fucking terrible.
Jesus.
Bad trade, McBride.
Hustle recommended that, or was that you? Who was
No,
that?
that was mine. That was mine. Hustle was like, "Don't do it." And I was
You
like,
need
"No."
some fine-tuning. That's funny. We have guest sign in, which is pretty cool. It won't be as
Oh yeah,
gated.
that's gonna be huge.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty big update. I have to agree though, the Polymarket integration is crazy. I mean, I look at Polymarket and the hype is so big because the promise is really big, but the top traders, there's only like a few that have made a couple $1,000,000. You know, most of them 300,000, 500,000. So there's like 150 people that have made money on Polymarket. It's been around for 4 years. So, I mean, talk about like really, really early days. Yeah, and just kind of siphon some users from Polymarket, siphon some users from BNB, Ethereum, and you know, soon you have a pretty big collection of a lot of users all at once.
Yep. Goals to be to get 1,000 daily active users. It'd be like probably put us in first place.
Oh, easily, except for Wayfinder, I think they have 52,640.
Oh,
And
buddy.
Newton has a million daily actives. Yeah.
It's gonna be close, you know. We'll have to.
Oh, buddy. They got the whole crypto market using their platform now. So that's all that's left of us. Oh, we did add. We got special access. We partnered with OpenSea. They gave us access to their MCP server, so you
I'm
can
happy
trade.
we were given that integration is crazy. It looks so
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, you could trade ETH NFTs with Hustle. There's no other platform I know you can do that. So that's kind of wild. There's some limitations to it. So we'll probably have to put some labeling up there. And then the magic tools was the big one that our team was working on for a long time. Just there's no more toolbox. It just auto selects the tools for you. We also added charts inside of the terminal and graphs. So it's nice and formatted whenever he presents things. You can also copy anything that comes in the terminal to paste, and then there's a like button. So insane amount of upgrades, and we have an insane plan for Q1. And I think Hustle subtly can become like a de facto wallet. So for example, when Bitcoin is added and you have support for like runes and ordinals and counterparty, you can like manage your rare pepes inside of Hustle and trade natively within. You can trade your rare pepes natively on XCP or the vaulted version and go back and forth. And things like runes and ordinals and stuff. Like if you just have it all in one place and you can swap between all these different chains with it, it's like, why wouldn't you use it, right?
Bro.
But that'll be our goal.
Why wouldn't you? It literally, other than, I mean, I understand wanting to have stuff in cold storage or something like that. But other than that, why would you, man? I haven't even played around with the OpenSea stuff yet. Can we set conditionals yet on like OpenSea stuff?
So we're looking into it. There's a few things. So I asked them if we could do conditionals for cross-chain swaps, NFTs, or Polymarket. They said the Polymarket conditionals is probably the most likely one today with the current infrastructure. The MCP that OpenSea provided, it's kind of lacking a lot of things that you need. There's no search collection API to find like a search collection, so you have to be very specific with them to say, you know, research CryptoPunk 52 to 5282 or whatever. And then once he locks onto CryptoPunks, then you could go ahead and like buy CryptoPunks and stuff. But like if you just say, tell me about or go buy a CryptoPunk, whatever, he kind of gets confused a little bit. So you just have to be super specific. But I assume OpenSea, you know, it's going to they're going really hard on AI. And so I suspect they'll continue to improve it. But as we know, it's good to have it now and let people play around with it because people are going to use it in different types of ways.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I see Hustle as like maybe a Tesla or something of the sort where it's you have a car, but it also drives itself. Do you need to use the auto driving? No, but eventually that's pretty much all that people will do. And so it's just like getting to that stage. And we're kind of like lucky at this point that there's no crypto users in the whole world because that means
Totally, bro.
everybody can learn it this way. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I mean, there's like 150 million. There's been like 150 million crypto users for the last 5 years. We make no progress, but that means that there's 7 billion people that will learn to interact on chain through a much more familiar interface like this.
Yeah, it's exciting times, man. The plans we have for quarter 1 is gonna be really cool. Um, how Heath put in our chat, "Hey Jake, I saw some of your Denver Broncos fan. Who's hotter right now? The Broncos or Hustle? Broncos are for sure, obviously.
Broncos are, bro. It's
The
crazy.
first bet that I used Hustle with was to place a bet on the Broncos to beat the Chiefs. Actually,
Wow.
that was
That's
the first
fucking
test.
ballsy,
Yeah.
bro. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I also have put a futures bet for the Broncos as well. I was bullish on them infinitely forever. So they're going into this year. Actually, my 2 top teams were Broncos and Rams, and they have the best records. So
Let's go.
I'm doing good on the predictions there. We'll see. I did go to the Broncos Raiders game like a few weeks ago. That was fun.
Wow. Nice, dude.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I don't know. Hustle's going to be pretty good. The quarter 1 plans are real good. Shannon's been working on all of our kind of SDK and dev support tooling, which is going to be really nice. It's going to be really easy for anyone to build with the Emblem tech stack, whether it's Migrate Fun or Emblem, Vault, or Hustle. Basically, you can rip apart any piece of it and use it as your own, as a white label version. Like once that comes to center stage and we can start onboarding teams to use it, it's going to be really good. Also in talks, and we've said this before with Radar for Shadow Pay in Vault. So imagine doing private transactions or shielded transactions, not completely private, but shielded transactions is nice. Yeah, there's no, I guess maybe Zcash kind of is like private, but most of these things are not like completely private. It's just maybe private to the average person looking at the block explorer, but you put chain analysis on this stuff and they'll figure it out pretty quickly.
Maybe Hustle can do the conditional radar trading, right? So he times it in a way that it's like the most private in and out, you know? Yeah, I haven't tried radar yet. I mean, I was familiar with whatever it was on Ethereum back in the day. Used it before it got kind of
Tornado Cash.
Yeah, Tornado Cash. I did use it a couple times before it got kind of banned. I guess
It's pretty similar. It's pretty similar.
I think it's very similar, right? But part of it is you can't just like put 5 SOL in and then take 5 SOL out, right? That's easily trackable. So you have to do it in a way that is somewhat randomized. And I think Hustle would actually probably be good at doing that. So that'd be cool.
Well, if you remember, I think this was a post like a month or 2 ago that somebody used AI to find all of the potential exploits in smart contracts. And it was like, there's $4.2 million available to exploit.
Right now, right?
Right. You're like, oh God.
It's crazy. That was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all in the right direction. Oh, X402 is also built into this upgrade. So we'll be moving the we'll be doing a massive subscription service overhaul. And once that comes, then tokenomics will be next. So we have like a good idea on how to add utility finally. So some people in the community can stop saying, what is the point of the Hustle token? Right. So yeah, that is in the plans. And we'll continue to try to add utility to Hustle. Obviously, people want yield. Can't do staking for yield in America yet. That's still classified as a security. So can't do that yet. But, or I guess they say it's like you can't stake to give dividends. That's like the technical term. But there are other things that you can do with it. Buybacks and burns are obviously the most popular. Rewards is something. And we have some cool ideas for actually something native to Hustle to do with the Hustle token, but you just need more users on the platform for it to work. So our target's to try to get to like 1,000 daily active users. And once we could get up there, I think we have a plan that'll just completely blow everything out of the water. It's like literally something you've never seen before. The industry's never seen, but you just need users to get there. So we just need to grow. And we need, for the sake of everyone's bags, trenches to come back. Right. I mean, it's pretty clear when you look at like the Hustle statistics. Whenever Hustle is up, the platform revenue is up because people are trading the Hustle token on Hustle. Whenever the trenches are good, whenever a pump fund and there's volume, then the amount of users of Hustle like literally triples in like a few days. So there's some confluences. Will continue to expand. Other than that, in the Emblem ecosystem, I had mentioned this before. many times actually, but maybe we'll take it serious when it finally happens. That Hustle and Emblem are gonna slowly merge into one. I don't think people will be ready for when that happens. And then it'll be a completely, kind of good experience. The goal is to retire Emblem Vision. It's just out of date and clunky, but taking a lot of the properties there. Emblem Markets will probably be retired here in the near future as well. That was a good learning experience. There was one of the guys in the NFT strategies community had messaged me and said that they're going to build their own marketplace. And I basically said, like, good luck, dude. I tried that. It is not a place I want to be in. It is difficult. It's the same thing when people were like, well, are you ever going to launch a launchpad for Migrate Fund? And I was like, I don't know if I ever want to be in the launchpad business, dude. It would destroy my sanity. But yeah, so they'll merge into one over time. Nakamoto Strategy is still chilling. I think it's at like 72% of the way there now to buy its first Nakamoto card. I think we own like 11 or 12% of the supply. Continue to just buy. For us, we know it's the slow grind, but and the benefit is a lot of the Pepe community generally has a pretty long time horizon as well. So once that first Nakamoto card sells, the price is half now. So when the Nakamoto Strategy token was at like 500K, it was like if a Nakamoto card got bought and sold, it would burn like 17% of the supply. But now the price is down like 40%. So it's like if a Nakamoto card was bought and sold at this, it literally burned like 30% of the supply.
That could get wild. I hope it happens quick.
The chart would literally go like what 15, 20x or something like that at that point. Like if you burn, I don't think I've ever seen what happens if you burn literally a third of the supply. I know the meme coin people used to do that.
Yeah.
You think it'll go to like $1 million or $2 million?
It's got to at least go to $1 million for sure.
Yeah. At that point, then
just under assets under management, it's got like 30 ETH right now, right? So it's like, what's ETH? $1,500. Just kidding. It's like, but I mean, it's almost at parity with, its assets under management. So if you think a Nakamoto card itself is going to go to $1 million at some point in the future, you get to buy a custody platform of Nakamoto cards for like $300,000 market cap. It's pretty crazy.
It is. That's why we're just continuing to buy. And I think we will have our ordinals strategy coming here pretty soon. We've delivered everything to them that they've asked for. So now we're just waiting on them to vault it and then launch. It's kind of funny. This continues to happen. This happened ever since we joined Emblem, but these teams ask for something and you literally give them everything you want. And then they're just like, oh, wait. Do I really want to do this?
I was just talking.
I was just talking about it. I just bugged you every day for months to do it. And then you actually gave it to me and fuck, what do I do now?
Not the first time, but it feels like these guys are going to follow through. But
I think so too.
It wouldn't be the first time.
It's happened many, many times.
We did have some big news. 90,000 vaults minted.
Oh yeah.
So finally hit the milestone. 100K is up next. And then $1 million. But I mean, shout out to Shannon. Shout out to everyone for making it to 90,000. That's a crazy milestone.
And like you pointed out too, it's like once you get to 100K to $1 million is like rocket ship. That's just gonna happen.
That's the easy work. Making it this far is like impossible. I mean, man, the dedication is nuts. Thanks, Shannon.
Yeah, the dedication is insane. So lots coming. Like it's going to be a good year. Obviously, we knew, December is always typically so. I still think the market comes back when 10/10 happened. My guess was like around Christmas time in that period. I don't know if anyone remembers the last 2 years, the top and bottom was like December 27th. Like literally the Pico bottom and Pico top. That like always seems to be the case because everyone's done either tax loss harvesting or the market is cooling off. And that's why they call it the Santa rally, because people just in that period, everyone's just kind of sitting around depending. And this year I feel like Christmas is on, or is it Christmas Eve or Christmas is on a Thursday? I think Christmas is on a Thursday, which means Christmas Eve's on Wednesday. And then Christmas or New Year's Eve is on Thursday. So literally people are gonna have like almost 2 weeks of like weekend. I feel like people are gonna get bored with their families and just start degen trading. That was kind of the thesis.
We'll see.
Like sometimes humans are just that simple, or you just get bored, and so you just got to start trading. Yeah, I don't know. There's really not much going on in terms of the market to talk about. One kind of thing is I got to say is Tom Lee's my favorite traditional finance bull poster. Dude, that guy is like
goat, man. He's a goat.
That guy, dude, has no shame. He's like,
Why, what
he's
did he
going
say
to
this week?
because every time it's like it was like October, it's like Bitcoin's going to 200K. Then it was like December, and he's like Bitcoin's going to 150K. Then it's like it's like ETH's at $3,000. He's like he's going to 12K in February. It's like it's like that famous like crypto tweet where it's like Bitcoin's going to 100K or else I delete this tweet. That's like literally him in real life. It's just funny because I like what he says, and like he's always logically said everything right. He just generally his verbiage is like a few years ahead of what actually happens, but he's always generally right in the right direction. And I think his thesis on Ethereum is pretty correct, to be honest. It's like Wall Street's going to tokenize. That's already happening. We already see this. Like literally the SEC chairman or CFTC chairman said that they're going to start tokenizing everything. Bank of America came out a few days ago, said they're going to start tokenizing everything, or that their timeline has been accelerated to tokenize everything on chain because of the regulatory conditions or something like that. And it's like you can't do L2s on Solana. And I think the culture would really prohibit it if that did happen. And it's like there's literally one option to do that. It's ETH. Like they're not going to build L2s on Bitcoin. That's been a horrible experiment so far. And Robinhood has entered. You have I guess like that it seems like I've been listening to some podcasts like the Tempo thing with Stripe is starting to catch on a little bit, but that's more just like these traditional tech companies or fintech companies are just going to issue their stable coin on a Tempo, which is Stripe's chain, to then move. Like I think what's the fintech thing that does the buy now pay later?
Oh,
that you can like
Affirm.
Klarna, right? Klarna, yeah, they're issuing their stable coin on Tempo, and Klarna's like $300 million in debt because you could finance your Chipotle burrito. Right. But yeah, go ahead, Chris. I know you're a Tom Lee bull fan for a long time.
Yeah, he's going to make billions of dollars. I mean, it's going to be one of the greatest trades probably of all time. I mean, he's buying like $100 million every week, every couple of days, it seems at this point. I don't know who's selling it to him, but that's a mystery for
ETH Foundation.
Yeah.
The ETH Foundation.
But I mean, these are going to be two legendary trades, Saylor to Tom Lee back to back. Same playbook. Probably will end the same exact way. Everyone has the opportunity to see it coming. It looks so obvious in hindsight. How do you miss something like that? But I think he's totally right. I think that Wall Street's going to tokenize. They're going to tokenize on Ethereum. Super obvious. There's so many benefits of being a pretty decentralized and battle tested chain that makes a lot of sense for moving hundreds of billions of dollars around. You know what I mean? So I just think that, I think he's going to have a good year. I love how he's always like, it's going to 60,000 by the end of the year. It's like December 22nd. You're like,
bro, TikTok, brother. It's fucking, let's go, man. You got 10 days, dude.
He says it so casually too. He's just like a really casual kind of monotone guy. And you're like, what's up with this guy? But I don't know. I think that we have a big year ahead. If they let the market slip, I think that there's going to be complete civil unrest, to be honest with you. That's kind of like the only thing holding the people together. And I think if the bottom falls out, it's going to be pretty crazy. So I think America's 250th, I think
midterms,
and I think just the spot that the economy is kind of, I think people are fed up. So I think they pump the markets.
Yeah, so they're doing they're issuing $1,776 checks to like 1.5 million military American. Cool. That was pretty cool. As well as the tariff thesis ended up being right. I mean, right, at least for the most point, like the inflation is down. It was a CPI print came out today. Was down, right, to 2 point something %.
I didn't see it today. That's good. It was kind of creeping back up for a minute, but I like the tariffs. I'm a fan.
2.7%. Yeah, my whole thing was you got to give it at least a year or two to kind of see it through. Seems like it's right. And he apparently, I haven't looked at the numbers, but the $2,000 check that they're giving everyone is from the excess of the tariffs that was increased. And they said that the budget is down, or the budget spend, or the budget deficit is down $600 billion this year.
Need a
And
little
part
more.
of that is,
A little more.
is it more?
No, we need a little more. We need some more than that. But
So the $3 trillion overspending is now only $2.4 trillion.
Yeah, bro. Progress, bro.
Progress.
We need to get these interest rates down. You know, the entire economy functions around the price of money. So we need to get the interest rates down. As soon as that happens, I mean, these things can cook. If he really does get a Fed chair in there that can somehow manage to drop interest rates multiple points pretty quickly, I mean, dude, these things are going to ramp like crazy. That'll probably be like the spectacular end of markets for like 3 or 4 years, but it'll be spectacular.
It's going to be for America's 250th, man. We've been saying this now for a year and a half on this show. Like it just perfect for the meme. And we know Trump's a showman. Trump wants spectacular fashion on America's 250th, because he knows if that happens, he'll be literally, I mean, he's already going to be remembered in history, but that'll be like a definite moment that'll always be looked back upon. America in a raging bull market on America's 250th, while he's having this like this gigantic party in where is it, Illinois or something, where they do the fair. Like maybe the UFC fight happens on the same day in front of the White House.
I mean, the top of all tops. I mean, like that's gonna be a crazy one. 250-year top. Whew. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Exit your bags. Let's see if the trenches can hold that one. Yeah. Oh, last thing. Yesterday, so Chris says, Gambling Chris says, let's go. I think the markets are lining up for something huge. 250th birthday, midterms. Trump and his whole team bullish on crypto. Big players getting involved in ETFs still coming. Bullish. Right? I mean, that's what it seems like. I mean, people just got to survive and hold on. When the FTX crash happened last year, it was about 10 weeks until ordinals came, and ordinals really just brought life back into markets. People started speculating on it, and then that ended up shifting over to meme coins, right? And then that ended up into applications like Pump Fund, more launch pads and stuff like that. And I think everyone's waiting for whatever that catalyst is now, but we're about 10 weeks from when that last liquidity wipeout happened. So it feels like within the next 4 weeks or so, we're probably going to see something. I don't know whether it's ICOs or AI or NFT strategies.
What did Base announce yesterday? What did Coinbase announce yesterday?
That's what I was gonna bring up.
Is that right? Trading stocks on Coinbase.
Oh, equity perps, I think, was one of them. So there's a few things. So let me see if I can pull that up. It was like equity perps is something that everyone seems to want for some reason. Everyone just wants to gamble. Let me see if I could find the. There was like a summary. So
that was a big like conference or like quarterly meeting, annual meeting.
Yeah, they're like little, Steve Jobs things up on the stage, yeah, stocks on Coinbase, man. It's happening, dude. This is happening.
Just as Satoshi dreamed that we would be doing.
Satoshi dreamed, exactly, bro. On a centralized exchange, you too can trade stocks. Fantastic.
We did it, boys.
We did it.
So stocks, prediction markets. Oh, every Solana coin is now tradable on Coinbase. You don't even need a listing anymore, just through their DEX, which was kind of funny because they launched that. Like Jesse worked so hard to launch the base Solana bridge, where you can just bridge your Solana over, and then like a week later, they're like, we're just listing every Solana token on Coinbase. Right, everyone just completely ignored what he did.
You can't catch a break.
Well, it was like I got into a convo with, I don't know, it was the Aerodrome guys or whatever, and I was like, well, so if I bridge it over, do I need to you got to create it's the same thing. You still need to create like the liquidity pool. So it's not like I don't know, the memes AI guys are going to bring their token over and like have it's not tradable. It's like you got to create the whole fucking pool, and it's just for the vast majority of tokens, it's a nothing burger. It's like, this doesn't make any difference,
Yeah. So let me find out. There's some other things that they announced. There was like some business product that they had. I saw that you can issue stable coins under their platform. Oh, introducing Coinbase Tokenize, an end-to-end platform for institutions to bring assets on chain. Fully backed, transparent, secure, regulatory compliant. Base app is now live all over the world. Next generation of Coinbase infrastructure products. So custody payments, exported to trading stablecoins, Coinbase custom stablecoins, create branded stablecoins for your business, backed one-to-one by collateral. So we're going to see. Social tokens are literally just going to end up being company-backed stablecoins,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like that's what social coin or social tokens are going to
Bro,
be.
and how are these all going to work together, man? Is it all going to be on base, or what's going to happen? Like this is such an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, Coinbase Biz is like seems to be another one. Oh, Coinbase Advisor, a new AI powered tool to help manage your financial life. This is literally the hustle thesis, right? The AI companion. Turn your questions into clear, actionable financial plans ready to execute on Coinbase. So their AI companion's not on chain, it's off chain, but will then probably execute on base, would be my guess. Leverage trading for more degens who want to go long on Tesla for any time. Anytime Elon says something, you can now manipulate the market any way you want in a regulatory way. Exciting times, man. Literally, the definition of hyper financialization is here. Like that's exactly what's happening here.
And nobody's left. It's empty. No one's here to see it. It's kind of like a sad story for crypto natives, man. It's a sad story.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we talked about 10 years getting in the industry, and now it's here, and everyone is gone. Everyone is gone. It's an unfortunate time, but the suits are here. But the thing is, the suits are not going to wear suits anymore. The suits are going to wear the crypto culture. So the culture is still going to be here. It's just all the OGs sold their Bitcoin and left, and then everyone else got leverage wiped out. I learned in 2016 and 17 trading on BitMax to never use leverage in crypto anymore.
Best days ever, man. Those are some
Best days ever.
Dude, they're a blast. Just knowing that Arthur is going to scam Wicket and wipe out everyone on his customer base. Like you knew it was coming. You're just trying to be on the other side of it.
So awesome.
That was the Wild West for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just super optimistic as always. It's hard not to, like, there's so much going on, not only that we have, but around the entire industry. So exciting. To have like an on-chain AI agent, like Coinbase is building one, we're building one, Bankers building one, I guess. That's pretty much it for the entire industry. No one else is building on-chain AI high performant tools, like tooling. That's crazy. Emma Vault is nuts, and then Migrate Fund is pumping along. It's going to be a sick year.
Yeah, I think so as well. So appreciate everyone who's riding along with us. It is really exciting times, to say the least. And we'll be back. Yeah, we'll do one show next week because Christmas is on Thursday. So we'll be back Tuesday. I think we'll probably do another hustle show and look for some exciting updates next week. Until then, everyone have a fun and safe weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Later, guys.
Let's go later.